Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Dr. Jason Jones back with another episode of Health Made Easy. And today we're going to be talking about something that I know everybody has heard about, but they just may not know everything that they need to know about it. And this one could really save you a ton of pain and suffering in your lifetime. And what we're going to talk about is why whiplash is such a big deal. Have you ever noticed or experienced any increased tenderness in your neck and shoulder after even a minor car accident, a minor bump? Maybe you even just disregarded it, thinking it was only whiplash, and it subsided, after a couple of ibuprofen or maybe a little bit of ice. But that's a big mistake many people are making. You don't discount a whiplash injury. It can become more serious if you don't take proper treatment measures. And the best way to take care of whiplash certainly is the use of corrective chiropractic care. However, you need to understand that your whiplash injury is more than just a sore neck. A lot happens in your body which you just may not know about. And what I'm going to cover today is not only what whiplash is, what are the common symptoms of it, but what are some things that you can do for it, but also what happens if it is left untreated. So, what does whiplash even mean? It was first known as what was called railway spine because it was commonly experienced in train accidents. But as cars became more popular as a means of getting around, car crashes became the most common culprits for whiplash injury. However, whiplash can occur from any number of accidents or collisions. You could get one from, skateboarding, a bicycle. You could get a whiplash injury from snowboarding, skiing, boating, all kinds of things. But during a car accident, your head and neck tend to whip forward and backward very quickly at a very high rate of acceleration. And this stretches, sprains, and strains your tendons, discs, muscles, ligaments beyond what they're used to. And it creates tears in the soft tissue. And you may even get a concussion if your body is thrashed around and with enough force. More so, research by Harvard shows that if you get rear-ended by a car moving 10 miles an hour, your neck can still experience up to 9 G's of force, which means your neck can move 9 times the force of gravity. And Yale did a study years ago where they found that it only takes 8.2 miles an hour of an impact to knock the spine out of alignment. So, what are some common symptoms of whiplash? They are pain when you move your neck, stiffness, decreased range of motion, headache, fatigue, arm tingling and numbness, jaw pain or TMJ, dizziness or tenderness or pain in the upper back, shoulders, or arms. And you got to take note of these things because you may not feel these symptoms immediately after the car accident because the adrenaline rush at the moment may mask the symptoms for days or even weeks. So it's advisable to seek medical attention after a car accident for proper checks and treatment. And this is where I'm going to step out a little bit and tell you that most people will go to the emergency room or they will go to an urgent care, and they are not trained to fix these kinds of problems. It's just not what they do. These are amazing people, life-saving people, super smart people. They just don't treat or fix these problems. They can do an X-ray, they can do a CT scan, they can do an MRI, they can do all kinds of testing, and they're amazing. They just don't know how to fix these problems because it's just not what they do. So, what happens if you leave your whiplash untreated? Well, whiplash is not always revealed in traditional imaging testing because it can be mostly a soft tissue injury, and this has caused many people to think it's just a fabricated condition, which it is not. But the long-term side effects of not treating whiplash, a whiplash injury can be severe. The pain can become more chronic as time goes by. You may start to experience things like sleep disturbances, chronic headaches, depression, anxiety, poor concentration and memory. 80% more likely, you are 80% more likely to develop osteoarthritis of the spine, or in other words, spinal degeneration. And it's quite hard to predict your likelihood of developing these complications. That's why taking quick action and getting the proper treatment to prevent long-term consequences and getting back to your normal life is the most important thing to do. So what are some treatment options? Well, most medical doctors, they're going to recommend, pain medication, rest, ice, or maybe some physical therapy in severe cases. However, chiropractic care has been the most effective measure that keeps pain medications away and lessens your recovery time. Now, at our office, we offer corrective chiropractic care for whiplash injuries, and we also, help where putting the vertebrae back into alignment, which is super important as your soft tissue heals. You don't want your soft tissue to heal with everything out of place, if you will. So for us, we use a variety of techniques: therapeutic exercise, soft tissue therapy, spinal adjustments, low-level laser therapy, electrical muscle stimulation, just to name a few, to encourage the body to heal naturally without drugs. So if you have a whiplash injury, it is truly a big deal, and not something that you should take lightly. But if you've had an injury, or you certainly have one that's relatively fresh and you have not had it checked out, you definitely want to go do that. So this is Dr. Jason Jones signing out. You guys have an awesome day, and we'll see you on the next podcast. See you later. Bye-bye.